Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another good episode of the Grue Room. And for the Grue Room today, we got a very special guest, and her name is Montana. I'm going to have her say her last name when she comes in because I don't want to butcher her name up. And she is on a show called Too Real for You. And she is a dancer, she's a singer, she's an actress. She does a little bit of everything, and I'm really looking forward to talking to her. And we're going to ask her about her acting, her music, and a lot of good things that she does as an activist. And I am Rocco Cross. I am the host that stutters, and I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview with Montana is coming up shortly. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thanks so much for taking time out of your night and coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Be, be, Before I go on, I just want to ask you the right way to say your last name. I didn't want
Yes,
to screw it up or butcher it or.
it's Jacobowitz. A lot of people struggle with it. It's hard. So no worries.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I see you wear many hats. Like you sing, you act, you dance, you do a little bit of everything.
I
So,
do. That's true.
so
We'll do it all
okay. So how did you want to get involved in all of this? Like what actually drew you to want to do it?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I originally started just in my parents, I was seen as not being confident at all. I had a reading disability.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I struggled so much in academics. And my parents were like, let's sign up for a play in third grade. And I did it. I got the lead role.
Oh
And I
wow.
remember, yeah, I remember literally going over my script with my mom all the time, like every single night, just trying to perfect it. And then after doing that play, I just loved doing plays all the way up until like seventh grade. I was like, I want to turn this into actually like something professional. So then I got on a TV show on PBS called Teenage Critic as a co-host. And then a little bit of singing and music came along with it as well. And that's how it pretty much the rest is history.
Oh, okay. All right. And you did plays and stuff too. Like which play do you think you like doing the best?
Ooh, hard one. Uh, oh, I would say there was actually a play that I wrote about my brother who's autistic.
Yeah.
And I wrote it in fourth grade, yeah, for a playwriting contest. And
Wow.
originally it was the play that we wrote in school. And then the director who's running the program posted it on YouTube and filmed it and everything, and it became a school sensation. But that's probably my favorite because it's not only about my brother who's autistic, it's about accepting him and understanding him, because a lot of people don't understand people with disabilities and they misjudge them all the time. So that was my goal, and that's probably like my most favorite.
Oh wow. Okay. And you wrote that when you were only four?
No, I wasn't. No, I was in fourth grade.
Oh, fourth grade. I was about to say, wait
If
a
I was
minute.
four, that would I would just I'd have to give a little kudos to myself for that.
Yeah, fourth grade.
It's all right. It's all right. It's probably been a long day.
Yes.
I wish I wrote it before though.
And what what did what did you like most about being on set for middle school?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I was an actual middle schooler at the time, as well as there was about how many, about 500 other children on set of middle school.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but yeah, all in Atlanta, just crumped in one. It was actually a small school in Atlanta, which is crazy. I loved doing it. All the actors that were in it, it was amazing. that was like probably one of my first projects I ever did, and it was amazing. I just loved it. I loved working with everyone. I remember it was long. I was a minor, so you were only allowed to like be on set for about like a couple hours and do school.
Oh,
But it was amazing how it just worked, and just meeting new people, being on set with kids at your age.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I loved it, honestly.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And I was looking at your page and stuff. You've won a lot of awards, like youth
Yeah.
awards and other awards. So I mean, I'm sure now when you win one, you're like, oh, okay.
A little bit.
So how was the feeling when you won like your very first one?
Um, hmm. Well, it's at first I feel like in the moment when you win one, it's like, oh, I won one. It's okay. It's good. But then it's like after you realize, it's like, whoa, I won like a youth Oscar award. This is crazy.
Yes.
But it's amazing just to be able to have an organization that notices like children's like and youth actors work, because you know how many children just like wish, oh man, I want to win an Oscar,
Yeah.
and it's like that may happen, that may not happen, but that's a long ways down. But it's just amazing, and it was such an honor to win it for advocacy, acting, music. It's just that's amazing. It's great to notice that your work is being noticed, and it's great to have that once in a blue moon. But it was really cool. Just overall, it was.
Nice, nice. And like speaking of like songs and stuff and music, like what inspired you to write one of your songs that the things I've done?
Yeah. At that time, that was my fourth original song that I did.
Yeah.
I wrote it because my ancestors were Native American.
Oh,
That's how I pictured it in a way. I originally pictured it as like a native song, like, and overall it was just the thought of like thinking of things that might have happened in your past, and
okay.
just being like, whoa, the things I done, and just looking forward in the future and being like, that stuff is behind me. I'm not going to think of that anymore. I'm going to move on. But that was probably one of my most favorite songs.
Oh,
Because
really?
a music video is possibly in the works. But that was
Okay.
like, yeah.
So out of out of the songs you've done, like you would say this song probably is like the one you like the most out of all of them.
Yes, but probably also Ask Me Why I Cry as well.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to choose one. Because all of them have a little special message behind them. Like Ask Me Why I Cry talks about like issues that people face in life, such as bullying,
Mhm.
homelessness, and several other social issues that go on in today's society. And it just tells you, it's like when people question and ask you like, oh, why are you upset about that? And it's like people don't understand what you go through, and it's like, ask me why I cry. Like, this is the reason why I cry. And it's just, that's what happened. That's what the message is behind that song. And Let Me In was pretty much had two stories to it. One is about a guy from when I was younger, and pretty much I made up an imaginary story behind it because I didn't know the actual story behind why he didn't want to date me. And pretty much saying like, you could let me in, you could tell me why you don't want to date me, but he didn't. And then the second message is about my brother, again, Arizona, who
Yeah.
I mentioned is autistic, where his emotions, you can't, by looking at him, you can't tell his emotions. For example, he may laugh and look happy, but he's really scared or sad, and vice versa.
Um,
So it's just a message of me telling him, you can let me into your life and just tell me
oh,
what's going on.
wow. Yeah, my younger cousin is autistic too, and like I know like how that stuff is, like how and it's hard to see someone going through that.
Yeah. Sometimes I've asked myself, like, why was it him? You know, why did he have to go through this? And it's like going through a life of like having to explain to people, you know, what autism is. People try to bully him. I've always been that little sister that was like, no, you cannot do this. You know, you have to understand he's autistic, you know. So it's just like, that's a struggle, but it's life, sadly.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is sad, like how sometimes life is, and how certain people deal with certain things. And
Yeah.
bullying is like something I'm very big on, because I'm all for anti bullying. And
Yeah.
because, you know, growing up, I was bullied heavily because of my speech and my stuttering. And you know, I still get people to laugh at it. And if I'm doing an interview, like if I do like one of those like live interviews, and I see comments and they're like, oh, this guy can't get out his words. And you know, words still hurt, yet and there's all forms of bullying, whether it's physical or typing when you're doing like a live. And like
Yeah.
it's you know, it's just crazy bullying.
I know it's sad how people in society just can't understand things, and it's like they have to be so ignorant of, no, it's like this is how I am, so everyone has to be like how I am, or perfect and this and that. It's just I wish society would be different these days, which you would have assumed over years and years it would have changed, but it's still the same, sadly.
I know. It's so true. I mean, you got all these things, these anti-bullying campaigns, and yeah, I mean, everyone's trying, but it's up to the people that are bullying to actually listen, because some of them, you know, they don't want to hear it.
I know. It's ridiculous. I wish it didn't exist, honestly. I wish you could just get rid of it, like just, but they only do so much and speak about it and hope that people listen.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. And, and going back to your songs and music, I don't want the interview to be too sad, you know.
No. No one's here crying. No, no, no. I get it.
So like, you did a song and you did music video for the song of Wreck
Oh yeah,
Reckless, and you box in it, and you
yeah,
box a TikTok star, right?
yeah. Anthony Perlongo. Yeah. That was a little crazy. Yeah, that was my first time ever like boxing. We filmed it in New York, around not it was New York, no, it was Brooklyn, near Dumbo, and what's the other place? It was, I think we filmed it in Long Island or upstate New York. It might have been upstate New York, yeah. And we did go-karts in it. It was pretty much an extravaganza, a little bit in a way. It was a cool idea. I really loved that one. I loved how the girls were like competing against the guys, but pretty much the overall message was girls can do everything guys can do.
Yeah,
Won't
yeah.
empower them.
How was it actually working with him, like actually like getting in there and boxing him? And I mean, I'm sure you had someone on set that was training the both of you how to work your moves and stuff.
Yeah, well, honestly, we just walked into we were trying to scout boxing locations, and we found
Okay.
one, and we were able to get their like actual boxing ring, which we
Yeah.
didn't know we could, and we luckily did. And at first, Anthony and me were just trying to work through some moves and things on our own. Actually, it was just on our own. No one was even helping us. And we're just trying to figure that made it look realistic and real, because I guess he boxed before, but he's more so a football player. And I never did boxing in my life. I come from gymnastics, cheerleading background. So no. And the first couple times he actually flipped me a couple times.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's how bad it was at first.
Oh, no.
But then after a while we did get it. We got some good punches in there where I punched him. Yeah. It's a very aggressive video.
Okay, there you go. And how did you wind up finding out and landing the role for the show too real for you?
Yeah, wow. Oh my gosh. I remember auditioning for that show back when I was 16. I think I went through auditioning, I think about 3 characters, and I originally started with a self-tape. And then they called me and said, "You got the role." I remember going to Atlanta 3 times. Once when I was, I think, 17, 18 and 19 to film it, and it was honestly amazing because it was my first TV show that like was actually streaming.
Yeah.
It was crazy to work with because it was a soap opera, and it was like dramatic, and I never had done anything dramatic like that before, and I was working with adults, and so there was no other children, it was just me. And but honestly it was crazy, just being able to do like my first experience on a set like that as a reoccurring role. But I loved it. The role was for Peaches Thomas. She was I'm going sad again. She was a suicide victim. Her father abused her from young. But get away from sadness.
No, it's all right.
Overall, it was.
It's all
I know we're
good.
going towards sadness
It's all
so many
good.
times. But overall, it was an amazing and challenging role that I loved doing.
Well, my next question is actually going to be something with that. So,
No.
so
Oh no.
the role you play on the show, she like you said, she has a dark past. And
Yeah.
how do you mentally prepare yourself to actually get into the mind frame to play a certain role like that?
Yeah. So originally, that was really my first time doing something as dramatic. So usually I'm a person that just sits and watches other actors that might have acted out roles that were similar to like suicidal victims or that might have been abused. And I try to like imitate that in my way, in like a way. And as a method actor, it's like you try to build around like the whole story around a character, because when you get a character for any role or any show, you don't ever have all the details handed to you.
Yeah.
So you think of things outside the box, like what is the person's favorite type of food? What is the person like? What do they not like? And it's just like, even like she didn't even film with a family or anything. Like you never saw her dad or her mom. So it's like she had to build a picture of what her whole family was like. And it was just preparation like that, just trying to get into character. And I went through like a whole notebook just trying to like break down like, oh, this is this detail of her, this is this detail. And just honestly just doing that, and like it's pretty much work. You do like a whole like homework work assignment type thing of planning the character. Pretty much that was the whole process.
Wow. Wow. Like I mean, I've seen scenes and stuff, and you really like you really got it. Like you really nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what scene did you like most, like film while filming?
Um, hmm. Hmm. Uh, it was mostly like me being a little like brat in a way. I would have to say, um, probably like the first episode. But it was either the dinner table where I was first introduced, where we were all the whole cast was like sitting there and explaining to like Monica Stevens, who's the lead, pretty much why we're all in this, like home system, and why we're all here to, change our lives and stuff. Either that scene, or probably when we're in like therapy group and I'm coming up to a table with Monica Stevens and her friend, and they're like, oh, why do you like this? And I'm like, you shouldn't like just this. We're in therapy. This is meant to help us. And she's like, well, why don't you go along, And so that was probably like my most favorite scene. Just like the sassiness that's in the characters.
Okay. And what did you like most about playing her, and did you learn anything from playing her?
Well, I loved honestly just having to build her overall. Because the coolest thing is when you have to like act characters that either have never been, like, either if it's not written from a book or in a previous movie or TV show, and you have to build it from scratch, it's like, wow, that's the character. When people think of it, they're gonna think you. So that was probably like my most favorite part of just building her. But like looking on even the acting from back then, it's just it's just like, wow, it's like that's how I acted back then. But it's like just going back to like the character like today, it's just like, whoa, that could be so much different. But honestly, just like because I haven't acted her in like about a year. So it's just to like see the craziness of like how she would be today compared to like when I first started on the show, because I love seeing how a person first started in acting and then seeing them at the end of the show. So like that's my favorite part.
Okay, all right. And I saw like it, I was reading that you opened up for Steve Urkel.
I know.
How do you say his first name? Jaleel, is it? Okay.
Julia. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you opened up for him and Jeff Osborne, like, and so what did you do? Like, it says you opened up for them. Was it like stand up comedy or?
Oh no. So that was at two different shows. Jaleel White, who plays Steve Urkel on Family Matters, the sitcom. I was at the Queen's Youth Music Festival. I think that was way before the pandemic. That was, I think, 2018. And I was singing and performing and opening up for like the whole show of
Oh,
at City Fields. And I don't know if before I was taken on, before I knew he was going to be there, or after. But it was crazy because my mom was also like crazy about that too, because she was like, oh, I grew up like watching him. So it was crazy to meet him, and because there was an after party like even before performing, so we got a chance to like meet him and talk to him. So it's like really crazy to just like meet him, a person that you like grew up watching. And then Jeffrey Osborne, he was having like singing competition in Rhode Island.
oh, okay.
And like a local mall, and because they're from Rhode Island. And I opened up for him, and that was amazing too, because he's like a jazz legend.
Yes, yes.
It's really cool to like meet him and talk to him, and he just told me like great words of wisdom. Keep going, don't let the haters get in the way.
Right.
Oh, you got to just keep going. So it was honestly just to have that on my repertoire. That's amazing, because that's going to carry me forever. Like just performing with them is just,
Oh my God.
even thinking about it in a while. It's just crazy.
And I saw another thing on one of your posts. You were at after party, I think it was, with Jack Grazer.
Jack Grazer. Wait. Oh yes. I remember that. Sorry, I have so many people I have to remember. Yeah, so I attended the Lionsgate film American Underdog with Zachary Levi. He acted in the film. He was the one that played Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then also Kurt Warner. It was his story. It was based on his life. I bumped into him at the after party. He was at some, I'm trying to remember. It was like some restaurant or something. And I know he's friends with Zachary Levi because they obviously act together. And I was like, I saw the red carpet chart before, and I was like, oh, he's here. I can finally like say hello. So I saw him at the after party. We chatted. We danced to Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, which is on Instagram.
Nice.
But it was honestly just amazing to meet him because he is like a repertoire also built up as well. So it was cool. It was amazing.
Okay. And now my favorite singer and dancer of all time, and I saw you actually got to be with her, Paula Abdul. Like, I've followed her since the 80s, and I just love her. I love her music. I love the way she dances. And how was it like to actually like hang out with Paula and meet her?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing because again, another person my mom grew up with in her time period. And honestly, I grew up listening to her music as well. Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to? Yep, exactly. So I was attending an event for a social media platform, Up Live. And they were opening up because she was judging, like she was a celebrity judge for a competition they were having on the app. And I didn't think I was actually gonna meet her because I didn't know if she was gonna like just appear and then leave real quick or if she was gonna stay. But it was amazing just to meet a legend like her. Because it's like meeting an inspiration like that as a singer. Oh my gosh, because she has a repertoire that's like a crazy repertoire. So it was amazing to meet her as well and just like have the opportunity to say I met her because she doesn't perform today anymore. She doesn't, go out as much anymore. So it was amazing to meet her, So that was really cool as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, Paula is like.
I know. Inside, Paula Abdul.
And yeah, I mean, I don't have it anymore. But like when I was younger and like a kid and teens, I had like a big Paula Abdul poster over my like room, and I had like all the tapes and the cassette tapes and the CDs, and oh my
My
God.
mom was. No, I understand that.
And so how long have you been on a plant-based diet for? I see you're vegan, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I think I started right after middle school, like around high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually really weird. I went to Santa's Village, New Hampshire, which is amusement park back home.
Yeah.
And for some reason I was just like, it's New Year's, I want to have a New Year's resolution and I'm going to become vegan. And ever since then I was like, I'm going to hold this diet, and I did, surprisingly, till today, and so forward I want to keep going on. But I like after a while I realized like, oh my gosh, I could be doing this to also save the planet as well. And I didn't realize that at first. I just realized it like, oh, I just want to do this just to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're saving the planet while also being vegan. I didn't realize that. So it's in a way like it's like giving back. So it's just like I didn't think of it, but I did. And so now that's how I consider every single time I plant-based eat, I'm thinking of that.
Wow. Okay. So I tried doing plant-based diet, and I did it for a little bit, but I can't just like stick to it. I still have to do the chicken and the fish, and but like for someone who's actually dedicated to it like you are, what would be a good plant-based food to eat? Like, what's your like best dish?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of maybe like the hardest thing I've made. I'm trying to think because I'm a person that like every single time I eat, I take a photo of my food.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It on social media. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Gosh. Probably just making like a classic taco.
Okay.
I go full out with my tacos. I add like a lot of rice, corn, mushrooms, lettuce, tomatoes, sometimes onions, cilantro, so I go full out with them. But I probably just love basic. Like basic is sometimes really good. So I love my tacos.
All right. Okay. There you go. And I also saw you were part of something called chill children's voice. Like,
Yes.
what's that about?
So it's an organization that pretty much helps sorry, it pretty much helps children speak out that have either been bullied, homeless, foster care, and pretty much, again, as I mentioned, social issues that go on in today's society. It pretty much helps them speak out, because children today, they're being bullied or they're in situations like that and they don't know how to speak up for themselves. And pretty much the organization takes children and helps them speak up in today's society, because so many, like even when I was younger, I wish I had an organization like that that helps me speak out and not be a person that sat in the corner. And if I was bullied, I couldn't say like, hey, please stop bullying me, or speak up to even bring awareness to it. So it really helped be able to speak up and do things like that.
Okay. That's so awesome. You
Thank you.
do stuff like that. Like you're always willing to give and help, and that is really awesome. Like I love that.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And what do you like doing during your free time when when you're not involved with acting or singing?
Probably songwriting, skateboarding, watching movies, going to amusement parks. Huh. Probably doing either gymnastics or cheerleading, dance.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. I've tried poetry as well, so I do a little poetry as well, but that's about it.
Okay, okay. That's a whole hell of a lot.
I am a do-it-all person, so
What about songs? Is like what's on your playlist? Like what kind of music are you listening to?
uh, um, I've been listening to a lot of indie and pop and hip hop. Let's see. What's my indie one right now is probably oh, I don't know the name of him, but there which one? There's a song called Hopeless Romantics. I've been listening to it like nonstop. I love it. I don't remember his name, but it's a beautiful song. I've been listening to a lot of Dean Lewis. Oh my gosh. Drake. Um, what else? Wow, I listened to so many songs and I don't even remember what I listened to. um, I've been going a little old school. But yeah, just honestly, I listen to almost everything.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, a little indie and a little pop, so.
Nice. And what about like are you someone who likes to binge watch? Like, is there any television series that you want to binge watch or you have?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I binge watched an Apple Plus show called Invasion. Which is a really cool one because it's sci-fi. I love sci-fi. It's like sci-fi in whole
Nice.
mind. And it's I'm not gonna give it away, but it's pretty much like where aliens come to Earth. Well, it's set in 3 different locations. I think it's set in Egypt, the UK, and New York. So it's where aliens pretty much attack these people, but a boy can stop it.
Oh,
But that's all that happened in season 1. I'm waiting for season 2, but it's really I binge watched that. What else have I been watched? Hmm. Trying to think of a Netflix show I've been watched. What's a Netflix one? Oh my gosh. Oh, I just went back and binge watched all of the Transformer movies again.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Butter. Oh my gosh. Huh, trying to remember what else. I've done so many, I can't remember. I can't remember, honestly. I watch so many shows, I can't.
And I always ask guests this when I have them on because I'm a big horror fan and my show deals with horror.
Yeah.
What are some horror movies you love watching if you like horror?
I like horror to a certain extent.
Okay.
It, that's one. Um, it was it. I can't remember anything today. Wow. It. I've gone back and watched a couple. I know it's not really scary, but Goosebumps.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's still horror.
Fear Street. I watched that on Netflix. Fear Street. That one's
Yes.
just trying to remember what else. I know I've watched more recently. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
Okay.
But I've watched so many and I can't even remember. See, in the moment I know what I want to
Yeah,
watch, but
yeah,
like when I
exactly.
say it, I can't.
And is there an app that you love doing the most? Like, are you more of an Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat? Like, is there an app you like the most?
Probably I would have to say TikTok and Instagram. Probably my
Okay.
top. Yeah, those are definitely my top.
Awesome. And is there anything coming out next or coming up for you that you want to like push?
Well, I'm working on more music coming very soon. I haven't put out music for a little while now, but definitely more music coming out. That's all I have right now. And if anything else comes out, it's announced on my social media. But until then, just pretty much music right now, and just working towards just doing probably an EP or an album in the future.
Okay, okay, here you go. And where can fans find you at, like with your social pages?
Yep, Montana Jacobowitz. Some social medias I'm Montana J. But honestly, just look up Montana Jacobowitz on Google. Everything comes up. That's the easiest way.
Okay. Well, it was really fun talking to you.
Thank
Thank you so much for being a guest on the show, and you're really awesome, and I love
thank
all the work you do for everything for bullying and kids, and you're you're really awesome. Like
thank you
thank you.
thank you so much. And thank you again for having me. Thank you.
Yeah,
You-
definitely.
You're an amazing host.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You're
you. I
welcome.
appreciate that.
No, I have to tell it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, all right. Well, definitely have a great night and great weekend,
Thank you
and
so much.
if you haven't ate, have a good dinner.
Thank you so much, and you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.